Questions for Coach Gibson?
Good.
Unique perspective of, start with their wide receivers. Obviously, you've seen other big ones, but where are these guys and what's their passing game like?
Well, I think Ellinger does a really good job of distributing the ball to all those guys, but the two big guys, Humphrey and Johnson, they've got great ball skills, a lot like what we've played the last few weeks. They're big play guys, so, and they do a really good job of moving them around. They don't keep them in the same spot. Humphrey will play in the slot a lot. They move him. Johnson will be, left or right. Really doesn't matter. So, we have to do a good job and know where they're at.
You've been to a lot of other leagues. Is the size of wide receiver in this league unique, or is it just a trend of the future? What do you see?
Yeah, I think that everybody has big wideouts right now. Obviously, we're in a run 3-4 weeks straight where we played, the Butler kid, the Hurd kid last week, these two guys. I mean, and what we need to do is recruit bigger corners than DBs. So, but they're long, and I think everybody's starting to go that way with it.
How have you been with Shea Campbell and the way he's filled in so far?
I think Shea's playing really well right now. I thought, obviously, it started out of state, and just his consistency over the last couple of weeks, he's getting better, and really enjoy watching him play right now. He's making a lot of plays and making things happen. So happy with where he's at, and he'll continue to get better the more reps he gets, and so it's a good problem to have 2 or 3 guys that you can actually play with, and at one position, and not have to pull a safety down or move a guy. So it's good.
Dana was saying that Qualls and Ferns should start practicing this week. Who makes the call on whether they play, you or Dana?
No, the doctors. If they tell me they're ready to go, and then we look at them in practice, that's something Dana and I will talk about. If we feel like they're ready and the doctors clear them, then we'll play them.
Tony, along those lines, they know how to play, those guys, and they have roles, but it seemed like you, despite everything, have a little continuity with Shea for a couple games, Giovanni, and do you put them in roles where they're specialized on packages and third downs? Do you put them in as just pure backups? I understand it's very early, but still, where's your thinking, in what direction, I guess?
Yeah, I think that, and these guys, the good thing about it, they haven't missed anything from the meeting standpoint. They're in every meeting. They know the game plan every week moving forward and going into each game. So, yeah, those guys would play a big role in every down defense. And then Qualls is a guy that, we like to use on third down to be that extra pass rush guy and things like that.
I know it's next man up, obviously, but with what's happened at linebacker all year, has it surprised you, that you've had guys step up the way they have?
Not really. I thought after spring ball, and I told you guys this back in April, that I thought Shea Campbell was going to be a guy we could count on, and he's done that for us. So, and now moving Giovanni there, obviously that wasn't in the works or in the plans, and it happened, but I think that he's holding up really well.
How much has the D-line had to do with what you want linebacker?
A lot. They do a really good job of taking on blocks, two-gapping some things, and holding us off to let us run. And I think that's what we do best at linebacker right now. We've got some guys that can run and make plays and, get some penetration in the backfield, things like that. So it frees them up. If Giovanni has to take on 300-pound lineman every snap, he's not going to be very productive.
If you get more out of Qualls down the stretch here, will that allow you to be more versatile with what you do with Giovanni?
Yes and no. Maybe rest him a little bit on third down, but I'm not gonna mess up what we've built and where we're at right now. We have pretty good momentum, and our kids, are playing well together. So we're not gonna screw that up right now.
What does Sam Ellinger bring to the table at quarterback, and what makes him different compared to other quarterbacks he played this season?
Well, he's obviously his running ability and all the quarterback design runs that they have for him. He's a big kid. He's hard to bring down. And you see him against everybody break tackles. You have to get a lot of people to the ball, and then he can throw the ball. So he's not, you can't take away one part of his game and say, okay, we got him stopped, now let's focus on the wideouts or the tailback, because he does everything pretty well.
What sort of challenges does Texas's offensive line present against your defensive front for this one?
Well, I think that the big advantage they have right now is the quarterback run game. Getting that extra guy, getting the extra hat with the tailback or the fullback or both with their 5 offensive linemen, you know, against us. And we all know we're undersized a little bit, so if they get big and run quarterback power and lead zone and different things like that that they do, that's going to create some issues for us.
Tony, slightly different question. In terms of recruiting the state of West Virginia, you've done it for a long time. It seems like a better cycle lately. Can you put your finger on what's causing it, or is it just happenstance?
I just think it happens. I think also, too, letting these coaches work with the kids a little more, I think, helps. I think these kids are in camps, and, you know, more people are getting eyes on them. They're getting evaluated. And so I think that's it. But, you know, the numbers are up right now, especially for linemen, offensive, defensive linemen in the state have been really good the last few years. So
these guys don't turn the ball over much. Is it schematic? Is it not taking risks? Is it just because they're good at protecting the ball? What do you see on the tape?
Well, I think that Ellinger does a really good job of, if something's not there, he's not going to force it. He's not afraid to throw the ball away, number one. Number two is he can tuck the ball down and run with it. So I think that he keeps plays alive, obviously, with his feet. He gets away from pass rush and steps up, but he never tries to force the ball into traffic. He'll make the easy throws if he has it, and he'll throw some vertical shots and one-on-one stuff, but he sees what you're in, and he identifies it, and doesn't take a lot of chances with that.
With that said, do you keep a spy on him then, or do you just blitz him all the time? You have a player that's assigned to just, you know, if he tucks it and runs, you got to stop him.
Hell, I'm not going to give you our game plan. But no, there's a little bit of everything that involved. We have to be, when we're rushing 3 and dropping 8, we have to have somebody account for him. Because if he can't find it, he's going to take off and run on us. And if we blitz him, you have to take your chance. Can we tackle him once we get there? So that's going to be a big challenge for our guys.
Is it important to have the right guy spying because he's 230 pounds?
Yeah, it's no, and he runs well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. It's not like he's a 5'5" guy, you know, 40 time. But he can run. He can make you miss, and he can run over you. So he's different. But yes, you know, I don't know if it's going to do any good with Giovanni trying to spy him. I don't know if Giovanni can tackle him. But
Just say he's probably bigger than all your second level guys, except for
Yeah.
Shea.
yeah, yep, he is.
But he is dealing with a shoulder injury situation. Did you talk to players about the fact that he has a bum shoulder? Or do you take that into fact at all, that may affect how when he decides to run?
Yeah, I don't know. When you look back at the Oklahoma State game, I don't know how much he practiced or threw the ball, but it didn't look like he missed a beat. He kept him in the game, obviously, running the ball, throwing the ball, so I didn't see anything at all. He wasn't favoring it. When he would take off running, he wasn't protecting it, so I don't know if it was just banged up for a little bit and he's all good or what it is. But no, we don't discuss that with our kids because I don't want them focusing in on, well, he has a bad shoulder, or that doesn't really mean a whole lot. If he's out there playing, well, we need to be able to defend him. So.
What's your thoughts on their tailback? They're playing the freshmen a lot more now. What do you see there?
Yeah, they're playing 3 tailbacks, but the Ingram kid, I think, so you're referencing, he's a good player. He's big, he's explosive. You know, so he's he's really what they've had there in the past. He kind of fits that mold. He's a big kid, and again, it's going to be rough to bring him down with one guy. We got to get guys to the football, and again, when you have a running quarterback, you can't commit too many because an Ellinger's going to pull the ball and get on the perimeter one-on-one. So we have to do a really, really good job on the run, and we have to stop that and turn them one-dimensional.
One cut and go guy, power guy.
He's a power guy, and he can make you miss. He's a good player.
Tony, you know their offensive line coach, and I think back to your initial status or your first go-round, a lot of coordinators and head coaches and people who want to be head coaches. Something about that group of players or those coaches or the I don't know, the brain trust or I don't know, the talent factory in the coaching room that's kind of propelled and escalated so many guys up to pretty good careers.
Yeah, you talk about our first staff here.
Yeah, some of that just like there's always like Butch, Todd. It just goes on and on. The system's too long to bigger things.
Yeah, it's Herb and I have it goes way back to 1994. My senior year of college, Herb was actually our defensive coordinator. So, and then worked with him in Glenville for a year, coaching DBs, and then after that we got reunited here. So, but Herb's a good friend, and he's a heck of a football coach and does a great job. And, so it's going to be good to see him. But back to the original question, I guess, we've had a lot of guys off of that original staff that have moved on and done some good things with their careers.
Any explanation for that? I mean, you guys are doing some cutting edge stuff offensively and defensively, and it seems like that became common. Is that a good explanation?
Well, I think that's part of it. I think the other thing, when you look back, the run we had from 05 to 07 and winning 33 games in that 3-year period, guys got some opportunity to go coordinate. There were position coaches, guys that were coordinators got to go be head coaches, and so it worked out well. I think we had a really good staff, and people noticed it, I guess.
Tony, it's tough enough to go against running backs that are in this league or almost any league today. Do you ever think what it might have been like to go against Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams, and I mean?
I'm glad I wasn't coaching then. Yeah.
Wide receivers, they've got big guys. How do they match up with the Iowa State guys? What do you see from them?
The difference between them and Iowa State is Texas has 2 of them. Iowa State only had 1, so it's not good for us. We have to do a good job of getting hands on those guys early. If it turns into a jump ball situation down the field, we're not going to win many of those. So we have to do a great job with that. With our second level defenders, our safeties, our linebackers, we have to make sure we're rerouting and trying to get hands on those guys early and not let them open up and get down the field on us.
Okay, thanks, Coach.